Hello. In this section, I will talk about fundamental of 2D games. How to design a 2D game. And in this section, we just talk about copy-paste 2D games such as Plants vs. Zombies, Flappy Birds, and Super Mario. In these games, each image frame is constructed by small pictures. These small pictures are called the library pictures. For Plants vs. Zombies, there are picture libraries for zombies, picture libraries for plants. And for each picture in the library, it's just a small picture. For example, it's just a picture of 75 plus 75 pixels. And also, how about the zombies? Okay, the picture for zombies is a little bigger. It's 166 plus 144. Okay. Let's take the Plants vs. Zombies for example. How to use these library pictures to form an image frame in the game. First, we have the background picture. So this is the background picture with resolution of 1400 plus 600. To make a frame image in the game, you just copy and paste some small objects in a right location. For example, you can copy the figure of a plant to this point. Yes. And to this point. And for zombies, you can copy the image of zombies to this point. Yes, then if there is many plants and zombies and also the bunnies. Okay, many bunnies. So if you put many plants, bunnies, and zombies in the same frame, this will make a image frame in the game. And as you can see, the wide areas are not pleasant. How to deal with the white areas? Typically, you can just use the background image for the white image pixels. Then how to make the pictures move? That is, in the game we only see the objects are moving. So how to make this? You can make this using a sequence of pictures and use different pictures for different image frames. For example, the zombies. There is totally 22 pictures for the zombies. For example, we display different pictures of this zombie, then it will move. Yeah. And also for plants, this is the same. There is 13 pictures for this plant. And if we show different pictures in different frame, it looks it's moving. Yes. Okay. So we can use a sequence of pictures to make the movement of each object. Then you can say the fundamental of 2D games are: decide which objects will be included in each frame and their locations. Then you can copy the image data from each object from library pictures and form the whole frame of a game image. The second is you have to control the game progress. For example, which object will be included and their locations in next frame, and you have to update the values of each object, such as the score, the healthy points, and maybe something others. With this, you can make a 2D game. Of course, at this point, we just focus on the image part. We ignore the audio part. Then, from the view of hardware design, we have to partition this task to software part and the hardware part. That is, which task will be done by software and which task will be done by hardware. In my opinion, this task of software is control the game progress, and the task of hardware is copy image data. Why I choose to partition the task in this manner? These are the reasons. Okay. And for the data copy task, this can also be done by software, just using the memory copy function. So we have to compare which solution is more PPA efficient. For example, the application scenarios may be small image with low frame rate. For example, the first generation of Super Mario, the frame resolution is just 418 pixels plus 320 pixels, and only display 30 frames per second. And for second application scenario, we may design 2D games of big image size with high frame rate. For example, in each frame, it has 1920 pixels plus 1080 pixels, and the frame rate is 16 frames per second. So for the two different application scenario, we can calculate the data amount will be copied for a frame for a second. Then you will figure out if this is done by software, how powerful the CPU core should be to meet the requirement of the data movement. And using such powerful CPU core, what's the area for this CPU core? If we done this task by a special designed DMA controller, what's the area of this DMA controller? Which method is area efficient? So we just choose the efficient one. Okay, that's all for the fundamental of 2D games. Thanks.